Hello, hello, my strong dancing friends. Welcome to my channel. We are exploring strong turns from the ground up. Today we are talking all about how better buns give us better turns. Being able to control and stabilize our hips and pelvis is essential to getting multiple and suspended rotations. Today I'm going to show you an exercise that gets you around and gets your glutes working. So let's check it out. So the first move that we're going to talk about when we dive into hip extension is our main hip extender, our glute max, with none other than the glute bridge. Yes, we're going to do the glute bridge, then we're going to add a twist to it, a glute bridge with a march. But I want to make sure that you understand how to properly and effectively do a bridge. I guarantee if you're someone who struggles with tight hip flexors and carrying tension in your hip flexors, your glutes are weak. I know, because I was that person. It was me. So we're going to strengthen your glutes in this very limited range of motion hinge pattern. When I talk about hinge, I just mean when you have your hips flat in the front and then you push them backwards to make an angle like a door. Hinge up, hinge up. So that's what we're going to do with our bridge. We're going to start lying flat and then we're going to take that hinge out as we lift our hips up. One thing to focus on is making sure that your heels are underneath your knees. We don't want them too close to your butt. We don't want them too far away from your butt. As you move your heels away from your butt, you'll notice that the movement becomes more hamstring dominant, and that's another discussion for an entirely different program. We'll talk about dancers and hamstrings. Heels underneath our knees or just in front of them, depending on the length of your femur. Then, before we do anything, I want you to sew the bottom of your rib cage together. Exhale, bring everything down and in. Feel your spine press into the floor beneath you. And now, again, before you lift, before anything happens, keeping your back, upper back, flat on the floor, bottom of your rib cage sewn together, we're gonna tip your pelvis as if it were a bowl of water. We're gonna tip that bowl upward and rotate it up so the top of your pelvic bones, you can put your thumbs there and feel those, are now angling towards your rib cage. So maintaining this, you'll feel your deep core muscles fire. Your tummy should feel very tense right now. All we're doing is lifting our hip bones straight up at that diagonal from our hinge on the floor to now flatten out our hip flexors. We don't want to go up and beyond. We just want to go to a flat position. And then we'll lower back down, relax, and reset. Close the rib cage, tilt the pelvis, exhale, hold it. Now you're going to try to inhale, lift the hips up, and lower back down. Go ahead and try two more just like that. Then we're gonna get fancy because we don't usually turn on two legs. So we need to be able to flatten out our hip flexor, get our pelvis in line using one leg, using one glute at a time. This is really interesting because if you are someone who has a good side and a bad side when you're turning, this right here could be the key to finding out which side is your good side, which side is your bad side, and working through those imbalances. We're gonna lift one leg into the air. If this is very new to you, you can hug that knee into your chest or just let the knee hang if you're comfortable holding that isometrically in the air. And then we're gonna do the same thing, drive up into the sky, lifting my hips. I'm not gonna let my hips shift or tilt side to side. I'm just gonna drive them straight up, keeping my pelvis in line and lower back down, reset. All right, my friend, if you thought this was excellent or useful, you're definitely gonna want to check out the next exercise in this series where we progress this move, we increase the range of motion, we make it just a little bit harder so we can get a little bit stronger and therefore get a little bit better at our pirouettes and our dancing. I'll see you there.